Let me ask you this question. What is the most important key to success? Tricky question, right? Is it money, fame, education, degrees, good health, that figure 8 body you always dreamt of having, living in that mansion you always dreamt of living in, having a wonderful, hot-bodied boyfriend, kids, driving the most expensive car? What is it? And I'm going to tell you something that I learned from one of my mentors, Tony Robbins. It's definitely not money. Definitely not fame. It's not skills either. But it's hunger. Surprised, right? Same thing I told myself when I listened to him talk about this for the first time. Hunger. I was asking myself questions. What kind of hunger is it? Definitely not hunger for food, even though hunger for food can take you places. People have jumped over buildings just because they were really hungry and they wanted to get something to eat desperately. But no, sorry to bust your bubble, it's not hunger for food, but it's hunger to succeed. That brings me to the second question I want to ask you today. How hungry are you to succeed? How hungry are you to change that situation of yours? How hungry are you to change that story of yours? How hungry are you to make a difference in your life and in the lives of the people around you, the people that matter to you? It could be anybody. It could be your parents. It could be your kids. It could be your community. How hungry are you to make that change? Definitely a lot of things come into play when you're thinking about all the things you want to achieve in life. A lot of times you would see people who are not able to move forward with certain things that they started, maybe a project, simply because somebody discouraged them along the way. Or maybe somebody reminded them, oh, you're a nobody. You're the son of a nobody. You're the daughter of a nobody. You come from the slums. And who said that somebody who comes from the slums cannot become successful? Not them. The only person who can stop you from being that person you see yourself as is you. And I want us to do this together. I know a lot of you are battling so many things, just like me or anyone else. This is a very, very tough period. This COVID period, people have lost their jobs, people have lost family, friends, people have gone through terrible situations. A lot of people are going through a hard time mentally. People are depressed. People are killing each other left and right, husbands killing wives and so on. There's chaos everywhere. But are you going to let what is happening around you affect you and keep you down, pinned on the same place? Or are you going to take advantage of what is going on and make a difference? So this program today, we're going to be talking about 3 things which if you implement in your life, you would definitely be moving towards your success. Remember, the big question on today's program is how hungry are you for success? Welcome back to Gwendy Media TV. If you're just joining in for the first time, please do subscribe and turn on the notification. That way you'd never miss out on any videos that we upload. This is the program You Are Boss. And on this program, we make moves towards success. We remind ourselves that we're the boss of our lives. We talk about career goals, career tips, educational goals, educational tips, lifestyle tips, and anything that can help us navigate life in a better way, like the boss that we are. So if you're the boss of your life out there, I want you to join me and say, yeah. Yes, that's how it goes. So we've been talking about those things that fuel your hunger to success. Are you hungry enough for success? We've talked about a number of things. We also asked ourselves questions on certain things that we may be doing or may not be doing as much. I'm asking you right now, are you hungry enough for success? Are you hungry to succeed? How hungry are you to change that story of yours? Are you one of those people who just sits back and wallows in self-pity because you lost your job, because somebody called you filthy, because you come from a poor family background, because you never got to finish school? What are those things that you're blaming yourself for that are stopping you from moving ahead, that are stopping you from succeeding? What are those things? I'm here to tell you today, it's been a success story for so many other people who were able to live beyond that blame circle. Those blames will always come. Those discouragements will always be there. Because a lot of people around you will tell you you can't. They will tell you you're not enough. You don't have what it takes. You don't have the money to pay for this. You can't go to Harvard because you're not a rich kid. Who says you can do anything you want to do? You can be anything you want to be if your hunger is right. You can have all the resources in the world, but if you are not resourceful, you will not make it. You will not have enough. You will just be an okay person. But if you are one of those people who wants to succeed so much, you will start putting those things. You will start taking the different steps necessary to assure your success. That brings me to the next thing on today's program. Are you ready to change your story? Because if you change your story, you can change your life. So why not change the story? There might be situations. You could have come from a poor background with not enough finances, with not enough resources. But how are you using the things that you have around you? How are you using the things that are available to you to succeed? Are you one of those people out there who keeps looking at the loopholes, the things that they don't have, the things that they cannot change, instead of focusing on the things that they can change? If you're not happy about your level of education, why not enroll in a course? Of course, people would say, I don't want to get involved with student loans. What tells you that that degree that you're trying to get will not give you the dream job that you want to get and give you the resources to be able to pay back the school loans? Don't let those things stop you. Those situations, those conditions should not determine your success. Don't focus on things that you cannot change. Focus on what's available to you. Stop looking at the things that you have no control over. Whereas there are things around you that you can actually make, create. A lot of people right now in this current situation of the COVID pandemic, they're just sitting at home watching TV every single day and eating whatever, popcorn all day. And then they complain, oh, I've put on too much weight. Why don't you get up and walk a few blocks from your house every single day? It's going to make a difference. Believe me. Why not? Yes, you can. You can still be fit even if you're not working. Why not take it as a challenge? Why not learn something, learn a skill, something, whatever it is? Turn that little thing that you have inside of you into money. Don't sit there and look at what's going on in the situation and get engulfed in what's going on. You can make a difference. You can change that situation. You can change that story. Because the day you start changing your story, the day you decide to change your story, is the day you're going to change your life. You can start today. You can start now. Taking those big steps towards the future that you want. Don't dwell in the past. It's true, some people might have a beautiful past. They just like to stay there. But if you intend to move forward one day with your life, if you intend to be a better person, or if you intend to just stay in that lane, then you might need to keep moving and not always stop back every time to look behind at the successes that you have and keep reminding yourself, oh, I was when I was younger, when I was like this, when I was, it's a good thing. Sometimes it might push you to work harder, but don't always remain there. You can start now with what you have. See where it takes you. You could be out there and you're very skilled with computers. You could be a skilled graphic designer, self-taught. Why don't you do some freelance work, get some change, instead of just sitting at home and blaming COVID pandemic? We can all make a difference. If you talk well, you're pretty. Why don't you do some voiceover, freelance work, or start a YouTube channel? Just do something useful with your time and not sit around. Keep your brain and your mind busy so that you're ready for when opportunity knocks, instead of just sitting there being dormant, eating popcorn all day, watching all the movies. Those actors are being paid for the work, for those movies that they acted. They're not being paid anything sitting at home watching those movies. I'll tell you that that's one of the things that has stopped me from doing a lot of things. So many times I've just sat there like, I want to watch this movie to the end, I want to finish it, but I also have some work to do. But you know what I tell myself? Watching this movie is not going to give me any money, but finishing that work that I have is going to give me money. And I tell myself, this movie is not running. I can always come back to it anytime. And that's the same thing you can tell yourself. There's certain leisures and pleasures that might be distracting you from the goals that you've set for yourself. Those things that fuel your hunger to success. You need to learn how to stop it at the right time. Say no. And focus on those things that would actually make you successful. That will make you more resourceful. Okay? Yes, you can. And you can start that right now. Another aspect that's going to fuel your hunger towards success is making smart decisions. What do I mean by that? Simply doing the right thing at the right time. Choosing the right thing at the right time. I was just talking about choosing to study, if I'm trying to get my degree, for example, over finishing that movie, that's so interesting. You can put it on pause and you go back and resume it anytime you're done. So many people out here have failed in their lives because they did not take the right decision. A lot of us are victims of that. What if I had not gone to the club that day? What if I had spent that time studying? Maybe I could have passed my exams. Maybe I could have gotten my degree. Probably that person made the wrong decision. They privileged going out with friends over studying for their exam. And the result was what? Failure. It's important to make smart decisions. What if I decided to walk out more? Maybe just a mile or two a day, instead of just sitting at home on the same position on the couch. I don't know why I keep using this example, but it's because a lot of people find themselves in that situation, just being swallowed up by what is happening in their current situation and finding themselves stuck in that place, not being able to move forward, finding themselves discouraged, depressed. Depression is real. Yes, it is. But what decisions are you making to change that situation? Maybe you want to work more on that project that you have. You want to work more on that business idea that you have. You want to develop it a little bit better instead of just sitting around and then having to blame someone else tomorrow. A lot of people have made wrong decisions, me inclusive. There have been times in my life that I did something, I made a decision and I hit the wall. I hit the wall literally. And I was like, ugh, I wish I had done something else. I wish I had not taken this route. A common one is driving and hitting traffic on the road. You know, like sometimes you tell yourself in your mind, you're like, oh, maybe if I take this shortcut, I might actually beat the traffic and get to where I'm going earlier. Only for you to go the way that you were thinking, take the shortcut, and every other person thought like you. They took the shortcut. And guess what? All of you got stuck there. And the main road instead cleared, and all of you got stuck in the same place. What happens? You find yourself maybe late going to work or to an event or something. Or to pick your kids from daycare. That has happened to me. And I'll tell you that the daycare where I take my kids to, every 5 minutes you're late. Or is it every minute you're late? There's a $1 fee added to that. Imagine what that is. If you come late every day, you're going to have some change to leave there. And that's not good. So it's important to make the right decisions. Especially when you're one of those people who wants to succeed. So making the right decision is a very, very important step to fueling your hunger towards success. Now, the next thing that's going to fuel your hunger for success is not backing down, not giving up. Don't give up because you failed. That's not enough for you to give up on that dream that you have to get to your PhD level. It's not enough for you to just give up because you've been working out for 1 month and you don't seem to lose weight. Don't give up. I will tell you that a lot of people out here who have succeeded, who have success stories, they failed. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. A lot of them failed a good number of times. But if they had just given up at that one failure, They may never have been able to be the people that we see today and that we want to be like today. They all have a story. They all failed at some point, but they didn't let that failure, they didn't let that current situation they found themselves in determine their future. And that's what I'm asking all of you to do today. Remember, this program is your boss. And here we make moves towards success and remind ourselves that we're the boss of our lives. Yes, you can. You can change that situation. You can change that story. And you can totally change how you become, who you become in future. If you so desire, if you start working on that today. So don't give up because you failed. You failed the bar exams. So what? Your friends passed and now you're back. You're behind. That's not enough for you to give up. It's probably not your time. Maybe there's something else that you need to do. Maybe you need to study hard. Maybe there's some tricks that you need to implement. Don't always take failure as denial. It might just be a stage. Sometimes it's actually a good thing to fail, because then if you pay attention, you'll be able to pick out the little things. You'll be able to point exactly the things that made you fail. That way, when you're facing the same situation the next time, you are facing it fiercely and you have all the tools that are needed. Another thing that's going to fuel your hunger for success is dwelling in the present and in the future. Dwell in today. Dwell in the future. A lot of successful people out there will tell you they're working hard today so that they can have a better future. But if you just want one of those people who would always go back to look at all your past successes and forget to work on the now, forget to impact yourself in the now, forget to add those skills in the now that will make you better prepared for tomorrow, then you might just be sorry. A lot of people have refused to leave their past. Some people maybe have dealt with a lot of difficult things in their lives. Rejection, poverty, abuse, failure, name it. It can be anything. But those things should not hold you in the past. You should be able to live beyond those situations to the present. A lot of times, you will find people in the society who have lived the same situation. One becomes successful, the other doesn't. That's life. Which side would you choose to be on? Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about that's going to fuel that hunger for success is focus. Focus. I'm going to take you to a sports game, any kind of sports game. If you're somebody who plays sports, I come from a country where they play soccer. It's called soccer in the United States. But where I come from, it's called football. You have to keep your focus on the ball. The ball, where's the ball going? And who has the ball and where is the ball going? Is it going towards the opposite camp or is it coming towards your camp? If it's coming towards your camp, then you're going to be scored at. If it's going towards the opposite camp, then you guys are about to score a goal. Focus. Focus on what is important. It's very important. It's a very important factor. A very important aspect that fuels your hunger for success. Focus on the right things. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Your weaknesses are not going to help you in any way, but your strengths will. Maybe you're a good speaker. You can be a coach. Yes. Or you can just be a media personality. If you're good at convincing people, you're good at matchmaking, you can become a matchmaker. Yes. Maybe you've matchmade some friends and they've gotten married. You might have some skills in that domain. You might want to think about improving them. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Don't try to do things that you don't really know how to do simply because some other person is doing it. A lot of times people have found themselves caught, entangled, just because they wanted to do things that they never really had the skills for. Those were not their strong points. Find your niche. Connect with people in your niche. Talk to people in your niche. Find a coach in your niche. Somebody that knows a little bit better than you. And there's nothing prideful about asking somebody humbly, please, can you show me how to do this thing? Please, can you help me how to do this thing? Or maybe I got this project that I'm working on. How can you help me? What are your thoughts about it? There's something that I learned in journalism and being a broadcast journalist. It's about letting a colleague of yours read your script, proofread. Not because you don't know or you didn't write it the best way, it's just you want a second opinion. Sometimes a second opinion from somebody who does the same thing like you, or who knows a little bit more than you, or maybe who is more experienced than you, can actually help you do better at what you're trying to do. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Those things that you know how to do make you succeed faster and better than those things that you really don't know much about. If you focus on your strengths, you would definitely be fueling that hunger towards success. So how focused are you on those dreams that you have? How focused are you on those business ideas that you have? How focused are you on that PhD that you want to get? How focused are you on making your marriage work, if that's what matters to you? How focused are you on becoming a better Christian? What are some of the things that you're doing? You might need to read books. You might need to listen to some, preaching. If you're a journalist, you might need to watch some other journalists who do the same thing like you. Just anything. But you need to be focused on those things, and especially be focused on your strengths. Now, the last thing and the most important thing, which fuels your hunger for success, is believing in you. Believe in you and believe in you. I don't know how many times I can say this, but how much you believe in yourself, how much you trust yourself, is what's going to carry you. It's what's going to make you succeed. You can have every other thing necessary. You can have the education you want, you can have the training, you can have the certificates, the degrees, everything that you always wanted to get. You can have all that. But if you don't believe in yourself, then you'll just be stuck with those things You might not be able to really get to the best potential of yourself. You might not be able to crack open that shell that's going to make you explode and become this massive world success, global, phenomenal, successful person that you've always seen yourself to be. I'm going to take an example of an amazing woman that I love and I respect so much, and I hope to meet her one day. It's Oprah Winfrey. Her story inspires me every single day. She had a very difficult childhood. She grew up in a very poor family. She went through so much in a very young age. She went through rejection. She went through abuse, poverty, just everything that can keep somebody in a dark corner. But you know what? She was hungry for success. And that's what I'm inviting all of you, all of us, to stand on today. Be hungry for success. Be hungry for success. Because it's only how hungry you are for success that will determine how successful you can become. So I'm going to leave you with these. Don't ever back down. Because you've been abused, you've been discriminated upon, you've been neglected, you've been rejected, you've been told no to, you've been mocked at. Don't ever let those things determine how far you go in life. You're bigger than that. You are enough. You are boss. Hope that you enjoyed this edition of your program, Your Boss, with me, Gwendolyn Fangudiver. See you next week for another exciting edition of your program. Meanwhile, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification. That way you never miss out on any programs that we upload. Remember, you can be the change that you seek. God bless you and keep fueling that hunger for success. Be hungry for success. See you next week. Ciao, ciao.